Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're talking about how you could strum along with a song called Give It To You by Thicke. And we're going to start actually on an E minor chord, but we're going to end up capoing this on 2nd fret. But there's a really cool little intro lick where you can play the open E, and then we play that twice, and then we go to 1st fret on low E, and then we go back to open E, and then we play that some more. So we go O, O, 1, O, 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 and if you wanted to, you could kind of throw in the 2nd fret on the D string the 2nd time through, and then go. So we got O, O, 1, O, 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 2, O, 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 1, O, 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 2, O, O, O. Now the chord that would kind of back up that whole intro part though would be an E minor chord. When we play E minor, first finger is going to go to the A string on the 2nd fret, second finger is going to go to the D string on the 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds like E minor chord, and it sounds really sad. And that's kind of our intro part. It's also kind of our verses through the song. And a lot of times with a song like this, to make it more interesting, I like adding something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So we just tried that along the E minor. You have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now randomly, if you kind of finger the E minor with kind of your 2nd and your 3rd finger instead, you can kind of get in that 1st fret on the low E string. So down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. And if you want to make that more thicker, you can even kind of go for just the low strings. Kind of let the E minor kind of thicken the chord up for you, or kind of thicken up the lick. Now then from there, actually we'll be going into our chorus part. And our chorus part opens up and all of a sudden we're kind of happy instead of sad on the E chord. And the way you play E major is 1st finger is going to go to the G string on the 1st fret, 2nd finger is going to go to the A string on the 2nd fret, 3rd finger is going to go to the D string on the 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds like E major chord that sounds really happy. And then from the E major, we're going to go into a D major chord. When we play D major, 1st finger is going to go to the G string on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger goes to the high E on the 2nd fret, 3rd finger goes to the B string on the 3rd fret. And if you kind of strum just the D, G, B, and E, actually kind of the skinny 4 strings, that sounds like D major, and it sounds really happy. And then from the D major, we're going to go into a C major chord. When we play C major, 1st finger is going to go to the B string on the 1st fret, 2nd finger is going to go to the D string on the 2nd fret, 3rd finger is going to go to the A string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a C major chord, and it sounds really happy. And then from the C major, we're going to be going to a B minor chord. There's several different ways you could actually kind of play B minor, and I'm kind of following the keyboard part for this particular chord. But we're going to take a B minor 7 in root position to kind of avoid some bar chords and make this a little easier. So we're going to put 1st finger on the A string on the 2nd fret, 2nd finger on the G string on the 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the high E string on the 2nd fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds something called B minor 7. It sounds kind of sad. Now randomly, if you wanted to play against the tune slightly in this, you can actually substitute in something called a B7 chord for that as well. And the way you play B7, 1st finger is going to go to the D on the 1st fret, 2nd finger on the A string on the 2nd fret, 3rd finger on the G string on the 2nd fret, and the pinky on the high E string on the 2nd fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string with that, that's called B7. It's a B dominant 7. So you may want to think about using that because that'll help point back to the E major. So that's another option on the B2. So if we tried our strum pattern through our chorus part, we'd have E with the down, down, up, down, D, down, down, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, B minor, down, down, up, down, or E, down, up, down, D, down, down, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, B7, down, up, down. We're kind of digging on that B7 change. Now the weird part is to play along with Thicke, instead of starting on an E minor chord, it's actually starting on an F sharp minor chord. So to play along with the recording, what you want to do is take a capo, and if you put the capo on 2nd fret, then now your E minor is really an F sharp minor, your E major is really an F sharp major chord, your D major is really an E major chord, your C major is really a D major chord, the B minor is really a C sharp minor, using the B7 for that E change, then that makes it a C sharp 7. But to take it from the very beginning, you may want to start off with kind of that intro lick that we were kind of talking about with the open strings. And you could kind of mix that up, kind of that E and F note. Now we're doing F sharp and G note. Or you could work it at kind of the E minor, which is the down, down, up, down, through those parts. And something else that kind of occurs to me that might be kind of cool too is if you take the flat of your right hand and kind of put it down on top of the strings near the saddle, you can kind of get a muted quality out of that chord too. So that might be something you want to kind of play around with if you're kind of thinking about how you're going to cover it, as opposed to just playing along with the recording. Now, something else that I would think about adding to it too is bass notes. And a lot of times on that first down of the down, down, up, down, up, you can kind of add in a bass note for the E minor. So you can play the low E string for your bass and then keep your down, up, down. So E minor with low E bass, down, up, down, E minor with low E bass, down, up, down, E minor with low E bass, down, up, down, E minor with low E bass, down, up, down, E minor. Or you could kind of work that with downs with the muting too. That might be kind of a cool way to do it. And then from there we'd be going into our chorus part. So we try our chorus with our down, down, up, down, up. We'd have E with the down, down, up, down, D, down, down, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, B minor, down, down, up, down, E major, down, down, up, down, D, down, down, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, B minor, D7. If you're kind of digging on the bass notes though, you could throw in bass notes for those too. On the E major, you'd have the low E string for your bass, so you have low E bass, down, up, down. On the D chord, you'd have the D string for your bass on the D. And then on the C chord, you'd have the A string for your bass. So C, then A bass, down, up, down. And then on the B minor, you'd have the A string for your bass. Or if you're doing the B7, you'd still have the A string for the bass. So we're kind of throwing in the name of the chord, actually, kind of as our first down, bass, down, up, down, up. So we try the chorus that way. You'd have E with the low E bass, down, up, down, D with the D bass, down, up, down, C with an A bass, down, up, down, B minor with an A bass, down, up, down, E with the low E bass, down, up, down, D with the D bass, down, up, down, C with an A bass, down, up, down, B7 with an A bass, down, up, down. Now through that chorus part though, there is this really cool little keyboard melody that kind of comes in where you'd have open B for the E chord, and then for the D it's almost an open E string. And then we got kind of an open B again for the C chord, and then third fret on the B string kind of for the B minor chord. So if you wanted to, you could even kind of throw in the basses on that and kind of work that as almost like a two-part idea kind of with those bass notes. Or you could even kind of work out some ways to kind of work that into your chord, actually kind of trying to strum the E major to the open B string. On the D chord, if you lift off the second finger, which is always a dangerous finger to lift, you can kind of get that open E string melody in on that chord. And on the C chord, if you lift off the first finger of the C chord, that would make it a C major 7. So you want to think about kind of using that. And on the B minor 7, you can almost kind of get that pinky in actually on that B string on the 3rd fret. So if you're kind of interested in kind of getting some of those melody notes into the chorus, you can kind of work it out that way. And kind of play around with kind of your bass down, up, down, and kind of bring out those notes in the melody. Now something else that I like adding to this particular song actually, because of the way the drums feel, is something called a 16th note strum pattern. And what I mean by that is if you're tapping your foot at the beat, right now we're kind of dividing that beat into two parts with our down, down, up, down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. What a 16th note is where you divide that foot tap into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And one of my favorite 16th note strum patterns is long down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, up. And what I mean by that is if you take the E minor and do it down for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what you do on the first beat. Then on the second beat, you're doing a down on 1, down on 3, up on 4. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. But then on the third beat, you're doing an up on 2, down on 3. So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, up, down, 1, up, down, 1, up, down. And then on the last beat, you're going down, up, right along with the 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So all together, you got down, 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 up. And if you wanted to, you could even kind of work that with the muting, or even kind of opening that up, or you could even try kind of getting your lick and kind of throwing in that first fret on the low E string and kind of get the lick to kind of come out. Or you could add basses to that and kind of make it a bass down, down, up, bass down, down, or just a bass down, down, up, down, down, up, down. Or one of my favorites is bass, bass down, down, up, a bass down, up, down, bass, bass down. Bass down, up, down, up, bass, bass down, down, up, idea through our chorus part. You could do just the down, 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 up, down, down, up, down. And then we have E with the down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, C down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, C down. Try that with the basses, and you have to use bass. Down, down, up, bass, down, down, through the bass. Down, down, up, bass, down, down, through the bass. Down, 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 through the bass. Down, 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 through the bass. Down, down, up, bass, down, down, through the bass, bass. Down, bass, down, down, through the bass, bass. Down, down, bass, down, down, through the bass, bass. Down, down, bass, down, down, through the bass, bass. Play around with that, and then the very end we're basically repeating those parts and then kind of going back to our verse at the very end. So kind of going back to that verse riff, which you can kind of work at that, or you can work it in your E minor. But there are a lot of different ways you can kind of work that, so you might want to find a way that kind of works for you and then kind of run with it. But that's the basics of how you could play Give It To You by Robin Thicke. So good luck!